Hey, happy Monday. I wanted to stop by to inspire you in this final week of the year, the final week of the month of December, and the final week in the fourth quarter of 2024. So, whether you set goals for the year, for the quarter, for the month, all the things, this can be a really pivotal week to really take note and be aware of how you're feeling about what you accomplished and what you didn't accomplish. This week in particular can be really stressful for so many people. I myself was feeling extremely overwhelmed on Saturday, didn't get much done. I don't try to do a lot on Saturdays, but I do try to do something. And for a variety of reasons, it can be that good things are happening. It could be that you're in planning mode for the new year. It could be that you're facing some consequences of some decisions of what you did or didn't do earlier in the month or earlier in the quarter. So it could be based on relationships. You know, this is a time of year where I feel like relationships move forward or sort of combust in many cases, whether that's family, work, colleagues, all the things. So I want to encourage you this week to really just give yourself time and permission to slow down and to really focus on documenting what you have learned this year, what you have learned and want to move into 2024. I've often thought about my role as a career coach as one to help people make decisions. And some of that comes from my training in psychology and understanding that at the end of the day, our behaviors, our actions, our habits are all outputs of the decisions that we make. And a lot of times not making a decision is the decision. I know you've heard that before. So I want you to focus on documenting sort of what you learned this year and perhaps how that informs some new decisions that you need to make for next week or even today. You don't have to wait till the first. Where are you in your life, in your career, in relationships, in your finances? What have you learned? What do you want to learn moving forward? I recognized in myself that one of the areas where I was really struggling was really a function of the fact that I had fallen out of the habit of planning. As many of you know, I went on a sabbatical to Western Europe, visited 3 countries, about 8 cities, had a phenomenal time. But a lot of the systems that I needed to have in place to make some daily routines last through the sabbatical weren't really strong enough. And some of that was because I was exhausted and, anyway, so I've kind of worked through that and made peace with what did or didn't happen and what I'm going to do next for the next leg of my sabbatical when I'm traveling, later in the spring. So I want you to think about how you're going to move forward next year. What decisions do you need to make not to bring certain things into 2024? I'm going to be doing another episode of the series Get Clear. If you follow me on YouTube, there was a YouTube session last week and a workshop last week called Get Clear, Design Your Breakthrough for 2025. Career Breakthrough, talking about professional legacies. And, even if your week might be filled like mine with family activities, with cooking and decorating. Actually, I'm just the prep cook. I'm not actually cooking. How can you hone down what you're doing and practice this week, making a decision to just do 1 or 2 things really well? I normally set a goal to work about 5 hours a week. Sometimes if I'm inspired, I keep going. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I don't hit 5 also. But I think 5 is sort of like the sweet spot. I want to average 5 hours, 4 days a week over the course of the month because I'm semi-retired. I'm embracing semi-retirement as I'm also embracing being an entrepreneur and a career coach. And so I made a decision that there were some projects that I didn't touch that I meant to touch that I also want to finish. An example of one. You may have heard a year ago, I designed this. It's basically a little affirmation booklet, short, with pictures on Canva. And I really liked it, but I wanted to make some changes. So I never actually got around to selling it. So it's now a year old. So I am going to be updating this and turning it into a digital product, an audio product, and a in real life product on a sales page. And it's basically a set of affirmations for educators, Black, Latino, Indigenous people of color. So, but it's something that's simple. It's something that I can knock out in an hour to do the updates, and then another hour to set up, the sales page and post it places. But so think of things to do that like maybe were on your to-do list that could have long range impact for you, but are not all the things, are not super complicated. Something that you can sit down and do before your family gets up, or at the end of the day when, people are, doing some, maybe you need some alone time, you and your laptop, you and your iPad. Spend some time also outside walking in nature. If there's anything I gained from a huge insight for me from my sabbatical was spending time outside, spending time in fresh air, putting your feet in the grass, well, ideally grass or sand. I prefer sand, but in, southern Georgia, I have to go with the grass. So what can you pare down? What can you not do? And of the things you do, can you pick only one or two things that you'd like to get done this week to knock off your to-do list from 2024? And as in my case, it might be something that you were supposed to do a year ago. It doesn't have to be something that you're working on. At the end of the day, is the world really, most of us are not, we don't deliver babies. We're not heart surgeons, brain surgeons. A lot of the things we're working on, we could actually push pause for a whole week and be okay. The world is still going to go around and the work is still there. So you need to rest and you need to focus. So make some decisions to give yourself permission to do that. And so a career planning tip, if you need help of something simple and easy to do that has a great impact, is make a list of maybe 2 or 3 people who really inspired you this week, maybe somebody who really helped you when you were in a bind. As I reflect on my year, I end up doing like a review of the pictures, and I see the faces of people that maybe I hadn't talked to in a while. Send them a text. In my case, it'll be a text, or an email if they're an email person, or just call them if they're, over 50. They probably appreciate just hearing your voice, and say, hey, I was thinking about you. It's the holidays. I want to let you know how much I appreciate you, how much I love you, how much your time or whatever investment in XYZ really meant to me. And I look forward to, continuing our relationship in 2025, just a super, voice note, something super easy. I think this season for me, my theme for 2025 for my business is We Thrive Together. Is all about community building. I'm really leaning into that as a natural strength of mine as a business owner and as part of my professional identity, and helping people see the value of nurturing those professional relationships. All relationships, but since I'm a career coach, I'm focused on those. I think it's really going to be the thing that as AI takes over the world, and it is, if somebody told you that it's not going to affect our jobs and our careers, they're wrong or they're delusional. That's my opinion. Only time will tell. But we have to make a difference in the areas where AI can't be us. And that is in picking up the phone and leaving a voice note to tell someone they appreciate. Now, you could still use AI to tell you what to say if you don't know what to say, I suppose. So I want to close because I want to keep this under 10 minutes and say that besides checking out last week's YouTube video, I also encourage you to watch the YouTube video that's coming up. 'Tis the season to stop and rest. The name of my YouTube channel is Sabbatical Life with Dr. Crystal. I am going to be career coaching beginning in first quarter of 2025. I have a number of packages for people who just need 5 to 6 sessions. I could do that with you meeting weekly or every other week. And feel free to reach out to me. I have a 30-minute discovery call that's always available on my Calendly link on all my social media platforms. And I would certainly love to hear from you. And I wish you a very Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa. And I know that I'll be back on before the end of the new year. Take care.